Hey, Mr. McDosh, go ahead. You're ready.
Good evening. I'm Jerry McIntosh, and this is Our Voices, the People's Movement. Tonight, I guess we'll be addressing what's going on with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, along with other hot topics tonight. But we want to say happy Labor Day to everybody, and hope everybody be as careful as possible during this time of the holidays. If you're traveling, definitely be on the lookout for other people and protect yourself as much as possible. So, but I'll turn it back over to Derek to introduce everybody and the guests.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy early Labor Day to everybody. Tonight, we are fortunate to have with us some young folks and young people. We usually don't have that opportunity, but tonight we get a chance to hear from someone young. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Dondre Wise. Dondre serves as an organizer for the Pensacola Dream Defenders, as well as he works with the group Life is Hell. Those of you all are familiar with Haley Morissette, who also is a Dream Defender. She has a nonprofit as well. And we wanted to ask Mr. Dondre to come and share with us some things that they're working on, specifically around the Hood Voter Guide. So it is my pleasure to introduce Dondre. Dondre, welcome. I'm unmuting you so you can talk with us. Welcome. Thank you for coming. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. I wanted you to just briefly share with us what you all have going on, both in Dream Defenders, as well as share with us Life as Hell and the project that you all are working on with the Hood Voter Guide and how it will benefit folks in Northwest Florida.
Before we before we go there, Derek, let me. I want to make sure I introduce y'all.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's right.
yeah, we have Derek Scott, who is chair of the Democrat Party here. Christine Forrest, who is with the Democrat Party also, and Santa Rosa County. Mr. Vernon Watson, who you'll be watching this show with WBQP TV, also on Roku, Fire Stick, YouTube, and all of our Facebook page. But we hope that you enjoy the show. And again, we want to say be careful this holiday, and if you're barbecuing and all of that, don't eat too much. Jill is going to be coming in later on. Jill Daggs. Bill Stowe is off tonight, who is our author who will usually be here with us. And Bill been with me since almost the inception of the show. So I'll turn it back over to you, Derek.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody, again. I'm going to turn it over to Dondre. Dondre, tell us what you have going on.
Hey, how you guys doing? Right now, Life is Hell is working on what we call the Hood Voter Guide, and what that entails is basically, well, not basically, what it entails is a informational guide on the political parties, how to vote, who's up on the ballot, different ways and avenues you can go vote, different what else we have? Just basically all the information that you wouldn't know. We basically trying to focus on educating the community. I feel like we feel as in Life is Hell that the community does not know all of the information. That's why they're not going out to vote. So we're attacking that angle. And we at Dream Defenders we're trying to come together and build the community far as this understanding for what everything far as voting would be. Also, I wanted to say that we also have been going out to various events, actually getting people registered, giving out different information, etc. We're basically we're working on printing out the Hood Voter Guide. I think it will be done next week, hopefully next week. Right now, I have like a digital copy on a hard drive, working on getting that printed out. But basically, we're gonna have 500 digital copies, and we're hopefully gonna have 750 physical copies. Hopefully, I can get a little bit more than that because I feel like it's more than 750 people in our community. I mean, but right now we're getting that number. We're gonna crunch that number and get those people, and then once we get those people, hey, hopefully they will bring more and more people.
Great, thank you. So tell us, you said that they're going to have voter information. So I know this, if I understand you correctly, this is going to be the go-to. So if people have questions with like where to vote, when voting occurs, the dates, et cetera, and the candidates, they can use this, correct?
Yes, everything. We had to actually wait for the primary to be over so we could have an updated
Right.
ballot and everything so that everybody knows exactly who and where and what to go and what and how to do. Because
Okay.
it's always a question of how I don't know how to do this and I don't know how to do that and I want to solve all that. We want to solve all those problems.
Right.
Well,
Right.
as much as we can, we can't solve everything. We're going to get pretty close.
Right. And I understand this is a cross county, so it's not just Escambia County, right? I hear it's Santa Rosa's included.
Santa Rosa, I believe it's everybody. We're trying to get it nationwide. I feel like we should really well right now it's Florida, but we're
Right.
trying to get it nationwide. But right now it's Escambia County, Santa Rosa, um
Okaloosa.
yeah. And it's one more. We're trying to get over what's it, Duval? But
Okay.
yeah, we're still trying to reach that far. But
Okay.
yeah, we're only getting 750 right now, but we're gonna have more hopefully after we get, the feedback, etc. And then once we can prove that it really works, then we can get, nationwide. Why not?
Okay. That works. Wow. So with this, so that everybody, because I don't want everybody to think, oh, it's for those who watch, it's like, oh, it's Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. You're having a
No.
voter guide that's every race in the elect that's going to be available in November, and the candidates that are in those said races, right?
Yes, everybody. There's no bias to it. We want to get all of the information out. We want to get every last candidate, every last way to vote. If you and also it's the information on the candidates, not
Okay.
just oh, it's Kamala or it's Donald Trump. It's what do they do, what do they accomplish, etc. Not just, what do they have, what are their beliefs, etc. It's not just, hey, is this person's running, this person's running. A lot of times people are like, okay, well, I just know this face. Well, now you know what you're voting for with the Hood Voter Guide.
Okay. Wow. All right. That's
So let
good.
me,
Good.
um, Dundre, um, are young people really interested in this election coming up? What is your thoughts? I mean, I know you with the younger people
I
already.
feel I feel like my generation specifically, we are interested in what's going on, but I feel my generation isn't as educated on the facts. More so the propaganda. It's 50-50. I've met a lot of people that are very educated and know all the facts and are very up to date on everything and current events. And I've also met people that had no idea and didn't want to vote and said the country's doomed. But we're going to work on those people and we're going to get the information out because I feel like a lot of times it's just if you know something.
I know I hear a lot of well, it's not just young people, older too, who are still believing that Donald Trump sent them a check, unknowingly about this, how government work, that Trump do not, allocate money to anybody. That's done by the Congress and the Senate and then he signed it into law, but he forced his name onto the check, but that's usually done by the Secretary of the Treasury instead of the president. But he forced his name on there to make people believe that he was sending them a check. And I still hear people saying Trump sent me $1,200. I mean, $1,200 is something that you can pay 1 month, maybe rent, maybe in some places, and in others you can't even pay rent with it. And when you equate that, that come out to $100 a month over a year, and they still talking about Trump gave them a check, and which is not true. Have you heard that?
I've heard that a lot. Me myself, $1,200 won't even cover my rent. So that's just me specifically. I hear that quite often, more than I actually want to.
Mm.
And I feel like it's sad that people aren't educated on that. And I feel like that's all it is, education. Because once you know something, it's like once you know, prime example, like say your favorite cereal or something. Once you know that like this person has this cereal and it's this product in it. Well, most people. Some people still will go eat that cereal, but most people will be like, "Oh no, they put glass in my cereal. Oh, I used to love that cereal." And now they won't eat that cereal anymore. I feel like with the education, they'll learn like, hey, well, maybe I should go vote for someone else because I know what actually happened. And I know that's what the hooded voter guide will help with.
Hey, Jerry, not only that, with Trump actually held up that money for a long time so he can get his stupid ass name on them checks.
Yeah, still
So,
did.
yeah. Um, I hope young folks don't go for what we call the okie doke, just over some crap that they think is the delusion, the illusion of stuff. I'm quite concerned about young people and Andre, and I know you're out there with them, and sure that you probably help educating them on the actual facts of how government works, and I for the life of me, I just do not understand anybody that want to support that MAGA agenda because there's nothing good for nothing good for us. So I just but help those young folks. Cause I hear young folks say that. I got grandchildren and I got children, particularly my grandchildren. They talk that same noise about that that illusion of Donald Trump. It's just not true.
I feel the younger generation, they feel we have a tendency to want to be catered to in a sense in some cases. So I feel like it was more so like what have you done for me?
Right.
My generation often a lot of times feels forgotten. So we're like, hey, well, no, that's not really gonna affect us, not knowingly that it directly affect us.
I got a question for you though. How there now that the ticket has changed now and Kamala is the head of the ticket, and I think a lot more folks got a little more energized because they just couldn't see Grandpa continuing. So now that Kamala is in there, has the young people kind of changed their thinking a little bit, or what? What? Give me your take on that. Since you in there with you out there with those kids, can what do they think?
Honestly, it's still a difficult fight because a lot of people still feel like maybe she's just a figurehead for, Joe Biden's agenda, etc., like that. But I feel like most majority, I should say in that sense, they feel they support her. They like to see that a woman, specifically a woman, and it's gonna be like they said, they don't want to see anybody older.
Right.
Um, a lot of people don't know her age at all, but not to say that she is older, but they look at her as a younger candidate, and yeah, they don't want any more grandpas in them, I should say.
Yeah.
So when you were going to school, I know when we went, and that's been a minute ago. we was taught civics about the Constitution,
Right.
the preamble and all of that. We were taught that.
Yeah.
Have they really went into details with the younger people. I don't know how long you've been out of school.
I've been out of school a little while, sir. I ain't gonna say it's been too long, but I've been out of school a little while. And I actually talking to my little cousin, they didn't know the three branches of the government.
Yeah,
Ninth grade. They
right.
had no idea. And I
Oh,
was like, no, and they got good grades. They had good grades. And I was confused. I'm like, how you don't know? And they was like, yeah, Donald Trump passed that law, blah, blah. I'm like, that's not. I'm like, yeah, my teacher said that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, your teacher said that Donald Trump passed the law that and he passes all the laws. I'm like,
He
oh,
can't. The thing about it, that's what people have. People in general have to understand. Presidents do not pass law.
right.
They either sign it into law or they veto it. But they don't, all the legislation come out of Congress, go to
right,
the Senate, then might go back to the Congress, then go to the president's desk to either sign, or he can veto it, or he can leave it and let it, become law. And I think it's 60 days in it. Right? They have to be on the desk about 60 days and it'll become law automatically.
Yeah.
So
right.
Well, Jerry, that's probably because did they take civics out of school?
they must have.
It been
I
what?
I think so. I think so, Mr. Vernon. I don't think any of my cousins took civics. I took civics in seventh grade,
Yeah.
but I don't think any of my cousins took civics.
Oh.
They take I think they take government 12th grade and just history 1, 2, something like that. I don't think they take civics in
Mm.
I gotta look that up. I gotta look that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we need to. If they don't teach it in school, we need to teach it in the community so they understand government and they understand the three branches of government and so forth. That before it's too late. But all I want you to do is spread the word to the young folks that they need to vote blue, regardless. Okay. Because it's gonna be for their best interest. I'm telling you, they may not be able to see it now, but they will see it later on in their lives. And I hope it's not too late because if we let this man back into office, their freedom as they know it is going to forever change. And if we're going to forever change going forward. And I think sometimes that's what young folks hasn't experienced, the lack of freedom. And so they don't understand, they don't know what it's all about to have the lack of freedom. So, but being you and your organization that is out there with that crowd of young people, I encourage you to try to educate them uh, about this system and how serious it is because freedom. I mean, our democracy and freedom is it's on the ballot this time, literally and truly is on the ballot.
And the thing about it, I know you probably have maybe read some of the Project 2025 and know something about it. But in that tells you right there, democracy is over with if Trump's come back to power. And, that means that stuff what we're doing right now couldn't exist without the government having to allow you to do it because there would be no freedom of the press, freedom of speech. All that becomes under a dictatorship. You can say something and be in jail the next minute. And then they set up scenarios where neighbors have to spy on each other, where even religion becomes a part of the government, and it only will allow so much that you can say and do. That means all the control is in the hand of a dictator. So younger people need to know that in a democracy you have a say so, you have rights, but in a dictatorship you have no rights. Or you could be, or you could say something that you be in jail or dead. We see that every day with what's happening in Russia and China and other places, North Korea. Under dictatorship, you say something, that's it. They don't like.
Well, I
So,
know one thing for you for the young people in the state of Florida, if nothing else, that the reason they should vote, and I don't know what the amendments numbers are, but the amendments for women's rights, uh, and also for uh, legalizing marijuana in
mm,
the state of Florida. So those are good two reasons. For no other reason, they need to go out and vote. And when they go out and vote, what is it number? Is it number? What is it? 4?
Four.
Four is
Well,
women's reproductive
okay.
rights,
So
and three
which one is
is
the read?
recreational marijuana. That's
Yeah,
Number
three.
that's what I want. I want 3 and 4. Okay,
Okay.
and those are great. And the reason why because young folks are mostly impacted by those decisions and by weed, marijuana, and stuff like that. I've known young people who went to jail and did prison time. I know a young man did 20 years in prison for selling weed. That's just totally stupid. Let's legalize it. And also, a lot of young people are getting abortion. They need abortions. Okay, now they have to go the nearest place to get an abortion. What is it, North Carolina or somewhere like that? So, yeah. So it's they got good reason to get up and get out and vote this time. And Kamala is the main reason they should get out and vote this time. All right, I'm through, y'all. I'm through with Matt.
and I would say, like you say, Vern, young people, but young women of childbearing age have many issues that's not just related to abortion. There's other issues that that would affect their lives, and of course, if rape, incest, all of that.
Absolutely.
You know, why would a woman have to carry a rapist baby? Somebody, that had incest with her, or
Their relatives.
had it,
Yeah,
cousin,
yeah.
you know. So all of those things, but then there are other issues where the baby is growing outside of the womb. So just so many issues, and then the woman's life could be in danger. So especially women of childbearing age, they need to be able to protect themselves as much as possible, and that should be available to them if they so desire. You know, we have Jill that came on with us. Good evening, Jill. Jill Lewis' dad.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Yep. Hello. And I did this probably in the reverse order, but Dondre, tell us a little bit about you, so the folks know who you are. Whether are you from here, like what, so people know, get a sense of who you are.
I am organizing lead for Dream Defenders Pensacola squad, and I am field manager for Life is Hell. I kind of sort of am from here. I was a military brat. My family's from here, so I've been back here about 8 times. So I guess this is where I'm for the rest of my life, for the remainder of my life. I'm getting married next year, so we'll see where I go. So yeah.
Shout out Caroline. Hey, Caroline.
And getting married to the beautiful Caroline Nova, DJ Supernova. She's also the Lord have mercy. She's the team lead for Pensacola squad Dream Defenders. So she's technically my boss. Now. She's my boss now. I don't know how she got that job, but it's cool. She's the one for it.
Yeah.
That's an audition for when you get married. So you know who in charge.
I am learning.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a moment just to big up Dondre, because this young brother absolutely loved to death. This man works, right? So you see him. I'm just going to share, if you haven't seen him, he works very hard with Dream Defenders and Life is Hell, but he's also committed to getting engaged, and he's actively involved with the campaign for Haley Morissette, running for State House District 2 here in Florida. And one of the things I'm just going to share that I'm excited about, always excited, but he signed up to be a part of the Escambia Democratic Party, like as a physical precinct captain, right? So someone we don't have, if you've been to one of our meetings, we don't have young people at all, right? In the least bit. So I'm excited that he wants to get engaged and involved and is doing the work and doing things to better the community. So my hat's off to Dondre, and Caroline is absolutely great too. I actually asked them both to come on, but Caroline had to work tonight, so she wasn't able to make it. But I'm excited for this young man. He has a bright future, and I'm ready to see what he is about to do. I absolutely know that this is the start of what he is going to do. Let me ask you a question. How can people, when it becomes available, how can people access the Hood Voter Guide? How can they get it? What do they need to do?
Okay, I will have it available on, it will be available on social media. I will get a link out on the website. I believe it will be on the Life is Hell website, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And I'll have all types. I'm gonna have all types of promotion. That's actually one of in my private life. I'm a CEO of Ether Promotions, so promoting is actually one of my specialties. So I'm gonna put it in the newspaper. I'm get it everywhere. So we're gonna. Whether they know it or not, we're gonna vote. They just don't know that we're gonna vote. We're all gonna vote.
Right. I love this. Christina, Jill, do you guys have any questions? I want to be respectful. I know he has other obligations, so I want to be respectful of Dondre's time. Do you guys have anything or comments, questions? Teddy, anyone?
I just want to say thank you for all you're doing. I'm super excited to see everything. If there's one message you want us to take out to the community, what would that be?
I want you guys to just not give up on the youth. I know we are hard-headed. I know we don't listen, etc. I could name so many things my dad done said to me. But I want you to just keep faith. And I just know that once you educate the youth, actually get to it's a difference between hearing and listening. Once they listen, I promise you, it's gonna change. Just have faith.
I couldn't think of a better way to say that. I appreciate you coming on, Mr. McIntosh, Mr. Vernon. Do you have anything? Jill, did you have anything?
I just got on. I have seen you throughout Escambia, sometimes in and out, and so I'm thankful for you. You're not alone in the fight. I think we always share about young people, but I'm always fighting some people that the youth aren't out of the picture. They have, you guys definitely have a different way of understanding and a different way that you do everything. And so I think part of it is us listening. We can't just force everything down your throat. We really need to hear what you guys feel and then bring it all together. So if we can do that, we have faith that your generation is going to push us over. We have faith because we have no choice. So we're going to believe and trust that you guys will do that. Otherwise, like Vernon said, it's just going to be a very different world for you and your children and your children's children, and we cannot let that happen. So we're pulling for you. We're here for you guys. Whatever we can possibly do, let us know. And just thank you for your sacrifice, for your commitment, and we wish you the best of luck.
No, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again, Miss Jill.
All right. Thank you, Dondre. I appreciate you spending some time with us. Please feel free. You're welcome to stay if you like, but I know you have other stuff. So please, feel free to come back at any time. When it's out, come give us a shout. When the Hood Voter Guide is done and ready to go, please give us a shout so we can share with everybody how to get it, where to go, and we'll do it like that. So I appreciate you, sir.
No, thank you guys for having me.
All right. Take care, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, for those everybody, that was Andre Wise with Life is Hell and Pensacola Dream Defenders, brilliant young brother, doing a lot, politically motivated, actively engaged, and I appreciate him doing what he does. So, as you said, the Hood Voter Guide will be available here coming soon. So, if you have questions on candidates locally as well as state and nationally, that is going to be the place where you go to pick it up. And as you said, it's not just Escambia, it's Escambia, it's Santa Rosa, it's Okaloosa, all the way over to Duval County. So please check it out. If you have questions, reach out to one of us. We can put you in contact with Andre. If you have any other questions, please feel free to hit us up. So again, that was Andre Wise with Pensacola Dream Defenders and Life is Hell. And we thank you for joining us this evening. Mr. McIntosh, I'm turning it back over to you.
Yes. Thanks. Go, Bernie, you had something?
And Jerry, I was just thinking about the name of the organization. Life is Hell. They don't vote. Maybe that's a premonition, because life will be hell for them if they don't go out and vote this November. But I think they will, and we just have to continue to try to teach them, reach them, and teach them about what they need to vote for. Okay, because I'm still a little concerned, but I got a little more. I got a little more energized once Kamala came to the race. I think the young folks now that are going to be voting, that wasn't interested before. You know, you got a bunch of young folks that typically would vote. Then you got a bunch of young folks that don't vote at all. But I think the younger people now that wasn't intending to vote because they didn't think they had a good choice. I think Kamala has rejuvenated that. And also I'm thinking that now the folks that didn't vote before, now's the time for them to come out, and I think they'll get a little more excited about it as well. So I'm glad to see the Democratic Party is moving in a direction that it makes people excited. You know, it kind of a little bit reminds me of the Obama campaign, when people, he just energized folks, and I think Kamala is energizing people as well.
You know, I read that voter registration among the younger Black women are up 170 some percent.
Wow.
Around 173%. So that's huge in a month's time. And you know, I mean, to see the excitement and to see that the young people are engaged, and they're doing a 30-day college tour. The Harris campaign in 30 days. So they're gonna hit the college tour in 30 days. They're gonna do 30 college. That's that's moving right there. That's moving, and that's saying something to the young people as well. And what she said about housing, you know, $25,000 to help, you know, offset your housing. That's huge in itself. That should wake up a lot of people, you know, first-time home buyers is what she's talking about. But also with the abortion rights on the ballot this time around is, you know, and just a whole host of things. Medicare, Medicaid, all of that is on the ballot this year. And because in education, because Trump said he's gonna get rid of the education department if he's elected in his 2025 plan, his Project 2025 plan. So I think that Harris has energized the populace in the whole country. And you know, when you see Republican women are saying they're going to vote for her, I'm like, yeah, this is good. Now I hope they're not trying to be, you know, they're trying to set her up some kind of way. Say you're going to vote and then go and vote for the dictator. So, I mean, you got a choice, but it's a great choice. One choice is a great choice. The other one is just absolutely stupid to vote for, because the dude is a criminal.
Absolutely.
and that's the case she should prosecute right there. I, I'm the prosecutor, and here's the criminal over here. Which one do you want? We don't. That's what she. I mean, when in the debate, she should let everybody know that this is the criminal that I got to that I'm debating, that I shouldn't even have to debate, because for number one, he didn't even go to a debate in his own party.
Yeah.
You know.
One of the things concern me, Jerry, I don't know, and y'all tell me if you're hearing the same thing. The concern over black males not trying to support Kamala. Have y'all heard that concern?
Yeah, there's a few, but you know, one of the things we have to always remember, 85 to 90% of black men has always voted for the Democrat Party.
Right.
I mean, you always had that 5, 10, 15% sometimes of black men who were just, gonna vote Republican no matter what, because they are voting, a lot of them because of the tax bracket, especially if they got wealth. So that's mostly what that's about. But 85 to 90% of black men has always voted for the Democrat Party. I think one of the things that we have to watch closely is how people use that to separate us. That's been my concern a long time. We talked about that before, Vern, that they are using black men and women against each other,
right,
especially when it comes to voting. And that's absolutely not so. Now you always gonna have you got a few black women out there who, if you see Trump on stage, some of them are up there with him, uh he ain't gonna shake the hand or touch him, but they there.
Yeah. Jerry,
So
one of the concerns I got really concerned this morning. I went to the flea market this morning, right? And Shakur, I think his name, Ronnie Shakur had some shirts, nice shirts, a Kamala for the 47th president, very nice shirt. Had them in blue for men and in pink for women. And he said that when black men look at it, they won't buy them, because he said a guy told him this morning that no, I would buy one, but I can't buy one because my boss man, he'll be mad at me. And I just, something just
I know.
I don't understand that, and that's what I fear about black men of our generation, Jerry, that had experienced that stuff in reality in the past, that they didn't do certain things in fear of they may lose their job, or in fear that they're not pleasing white people and so forth. And I believe that that people try to instill that fear back into that group of and I'm talking, I don't know what age the man was. I had to assume that he had to be in my generation, okay? That probably experienced that once before, because my daddy didn't do certain things because he thought white people would know about it, and we had to sneak around and do certain things. So it's sad that I'm seeing this again. It really worries me, Jerry, because I'm seeing it again.
In the era we grew up in, Vern, yeah, it was people was cautious, but you don't have to be that way now.
Right.
That was, you could lose your life back then, but now, you're not going to buy a T-shirt because your boss might see it.
Yeah.
Your boss will go to hell. If he got something to say, you have a right to vote for or support whoever you want to, just like he do.
Right.
Yeah. That was something that never bothered me, whether somebody saw me or not. Go ahead, Jill.
So, hi everyone. It's a great evening, and of course, I'm going to have the other side to this because I think that's probably why I'm here. So maybe Vernon and Mr. McIntosh. I will say it may be in Escambia County because you have a good representation of many Democrats and many people of color. That is true for where you live. But in Santa Rosa County, I feel like I can include them. In Okaloosa County and Walton County, where they still have the Confederate flag up. That is not the truth here. If you put that sign out, they're not doing business with you. If you come to work with a Kamala shirt on, with a Democratic shirt, they're sending you home. They're demoting you. You're going to get fired. That's the real world we live in. So what I would say is don't buy the shirt, just go vote. I don't care if they buy the shirt or not. But that is a real, I don't think that it's and again, I can't speak for Escambia, but where we live, that is a real, it is that way. I'll give you an example. We had a Caucasian man, Republican, came to a Democratic function. It was a social thing. So it wasn't like he came to our meeting. He came to a social thing. He was running for commissioner. And he came because he was going to be the commissioner and he needed to hear both sides, all sides, so he could represent all people. They blackballed him. He was winning. He lost, and he got, it just was a terrible situation because he came to a social event. He just said, hey, we want to hear what you're thinking. I want to represent you. I'm going to represent everybody. He did not say I'm voting Democratic. He didn't say he was changing his party. He just said, as a commissioner, I am called and required to represent all people, and I can't do that if I'm not in your space. So it is reality here. I don't care about the shirt. I mean, I really don't. I need them to go in those secure walls, those secure places you can go to go vote, or do it at home. That's why we say vote by mail. Do it in your own house and do it to save democracy. But I don't want anybody to feel like their reality isn't real. For some people, that's real.
I have to tell you now, there is no democracy then. What freedom? This is 2024. You can't go out and buy a shirt that you want to buy in fear of losing your job. Well, we're not free then.
But that's the reality. That's why we're trying to get out of that. But you can't tell somebody that's really living that you need to stop doing that. Go buy the shirt anyway. You gonna pay his bills? They gonna knock on Vernon's door and be like, Vernon, I did what you said on the radio, on TV. I bought the shirt. I got fired. Now what am I supposed to do? Because that is reality. It's wrong, but it's.
Yeah, but what we're saying, of course you don't wear your shirt and stuff to work. That you don't do that, period. But what you're doing in your community, if you want to wear a shirt, who you support, that's a different thing. If you want to buy it and don't even wear it, but you're not going to buy it because your boss might say, "Where your boss at? Your boss following you around or something?"
Go ahead, Christina.
So I just want to echo what Jill said. It's very, very real, and especially in counties that are very rural, it's so hard for a lot of us to even get a job, period. And then when we add on the political side of it, it makes it very, very difficult. I can tell you, I have no problem getting I've no problem getting a job on base, but outside of base, it's really, really, really difficult. When I go and do interviews, I would, especially in my county, I would turn my, because they're going to research my Facebook. They're going to research, they're going to do all of that. I'm making all of that dark for that period that I'm interviewing. So those things are very, very real. I don't want to cloud that. Now, when I actually go in, I do let them know, hey, in subtle ways that, I work in the community. I'm very involved politically. It's not hard to figure out. But yeah, and I mean, I'm very fortunate that I have my husband. So, if I go for a time frame without a job, it's not going to be detrimental. But if I had to feed all my kids and it was just me and I'm a single parent, I'm going to do all I can to protect my job and my licensure.
I I don't know. This is a free country, and in this day and time, you having to do that. I can remember the day back in the day, my dad had bought a new car, and he had
Mhm.
them almost hide his new car from white people because he didn't want white folks knowing that he got a new car, stuff like that. This is not freedom. I just don't think. I hear what you're saying, and when you put it on the other foot, would I hire a MAGA person? Probably not. But if he was working for me, if he came in with a MAGA shirt on, I have no, that law keep me from from terminating because he's wearing the MAGA. This is what freedom is all about. He has a right to wear his MAGA clothing, as long as I don't have a,
So
But Vernon, it's
that
an
kind of thing.
at-will
But
state. It's
that's the
not,
only reason that you're doing it. That's not.
but it's at will, so you'll never know. Florida's an at-will
Yeah.
state. They can fire you because they don't like the way you look. They can fire you because whatever. And there's nothing you'll never be able to. I mean, you can say it's because they saw me at the grocery store. I ran into my boss, Steve, at the grocery store, and he saw me in my Kamala gear. And 10 days later, I got fired. And
Yeah.
he's going to say, no, I was downsizing. I was this, or he's going to say nothing if he's smart and say, no, I let you go and leave it at that. Go
Yeah.
file your
I,
unemployment.
That tells me
I gotta
then.
tell you, it's, I
That,
didn't mean to cut you off.
go ahead.
Oh,
I'm
no, I
sorry.
didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
See, but if he's so afraid to buy a shirt, then he gonna vote the way his boss gonna tell him to vote. You go out and you vote for Donald Trump, sir. Yes, it's a boss. Yes, I vote for him.
So, Vernon, because we are trying to encourage our viewing audience to join us in this fight, we are not going to tell them that if they will not buy a t-shirt, they're going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm not going to say that. And I would respectfully not like for us to say that on this show until November 6th, after the election. Because if you can't buy a shirt, it is okay. Just go in the ballot box and do what you need to do. So next year you can buy the shirt. That's what we want to tell them. We want to encourage them to be able to do. I don't want anybody to be like, well, he said I may as well do it, so I'm going to do it. No. Everything we speak now needs to be truth and understanding and education to get us to where we have to go. We just have to do it differently. And I feel what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, but that doesn't mean that's where that gentleman was because he didn't buy a t-shirt. We're talking about a darn t-shirt. He didn't buy a t-shirt. He didn't say he wasn't going to register a Democrat. He just didn't buy a shirt. So if he's a Democrat, what makes you think he's not going to go vote because he didn't buy a shirt? Now, if he's a Republican, he was already in a different mindset anyway. But if he's a Democrat and he didn't buy the shirt because his boss said something and changed his party, and there are those that do that, but he might not have. That happens too.
still in this day in 2024, I know people who have literally changed their party from Democrat to Republican for the purposes of employment.
Yep. So what I would say is here, like here in Santa Rosa County, I haven't seen it this election cycle, but last election cycle, there was a big thing up. It was on one of the neighborhood chats. There was a woman who was in an accident. She was pulled off on the side of the road. Somebody said they were going to stop, and then they saw her Democratic sticker and didn't, and left her there. There were other people who were run off the road. Jill can tell you about times when folks do have their Democratic stickers and they were at a meeting, at a restaurant, at a social event. She can tell you about times when pieces of wood with nails were left under the cars in hopes that it would flatten their cars when they backed up. I can't tell you how many times I've gone through, I don't know how many Biden and Kamala stickers on my car that have been ripped off. I can't tell you how many arguments I've gotten, and I mean, this is real life, how many arguments I've gotten with my husband, because I'm very loud, proud, I've got my buttons, my shirts, and I go everywhere, and he's like, you're going by yourself. You need to go with Jill, you need to go with somebody. I don't want you out by yourself. You stop somewhere and something happens. I mean, that's a real fear of my family. And mind you, I have hundreds of Kamala shirts and all the buttons and everything. And I love who I am and I'm proud of who I am. But that's still a conflict within our family. Just like putting up a sign outside your home. There's a lot of folks who won't because they're afraid not just that they're going to get stolen, but that they're going to get a brick through their window. I mean,
Well,
that's just real where we live.
well, you flip it on the other side. Had that accident, or somebody had a mega sticker on his car, a red hat. Would you, as a Democrat, would you stop to help him?
Oh, I absolutely have. I've absolutely
I
stopped
would,
to
I,
help.
I
I mean,
would,
absolutely.
because humanity
I
is the
wouldn't have
main.
even looked at the sticker. It's an accident. Like,
Yeah,
you're not
you
even
know,
looking for it.
accident, you know, and hopefully somebody
It's
would do
supposed to
like
be
the kids, right?
automatic.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think that's the problem with where we are right now. We have
Yeah.
stopped being human, or we've become, everybody has to hate. I have to hate you.
Politicized.
You have to hate me. It's politicized. The humanity of the situation has gone. I would say that I wouldn't stop because they're Democrat, the Republican. I don't necessarily stop at accidents. Period. One has one has happened in front of me just in the last 2 weeks. I've had two happen, and one on Cervantes, and the only reason why I got out of the car because their bumper was in the way and it was impeding traffic. So I politely moved their bumper on the curb. They were fine, but they weren't moving their bumper, so I moved it and kept going. But I would stop if I was a stop for accidents type of person. Yeah, but I'm just not that
I'm
person.
like,
I would call if they needed, like, I would call 911. I would absolutely do that. But like,
so
Yeah.
I'm an absolute stopper. I guess if that's what you want to call her, but I am, especially when I wasn't in the wheelchair. I literally stopped at like 7. The police were like, "You're everywhere," because I would see the accident and I would be there. Once it was my son's, by accident, it was my son's girlfriend. One time it was one of my friend's husband. Jenna and I just happened to be going. A car got hit. I jumped out. She went after the dogs that flew out of the car. I ran across the road and it's her husband in the car. I would want it. I had a best friend that died in a traffic accident in high school, and my boyfriend at the time's dad is who stopped and held her until she died. I would never want anybody to be by themselves. So for me, that is just humanity. And if you don't have that in you, then yeah, Vernon, you know what? This country is screwed up. And so the only way to fix it is to let people do. I don't care about the t-shirt. I really don't. I don't care about the t-shirts. I don't care about the buttons. For those of us and signs and all of that you can do, then do it. What I care about is once you are registered, that you get the education you need and that you make sure you make it to the ballot box, or that you do your vote by mail, you go early, and make sure you erase any question on whether she wins or not. Because that's what it is. The win has to be significant because they're going to fight everything. It cannot be by a small amount. It needs to be astronomical, where they're just fighting to fight and everybody's like, yeah, but she won by 500 bit, whatever.
She can win by 99 to 1. There's still going to be a fight about it.
They're in a fight, but there's a difference of fighting. So like Trump fought last time, but he lost and everybody knew he lost, but he really lost. Like there wasn't even a question he lost. We need it to be so far apart that even those not so radical, I guess I'm going to try to be nice, not so radical Trumpers, but those that still have the, okay, she won, that they can say, okay, she won. Because there's going to be a group of them that if he doesn't win, they're coming after everybody.
What I'm saying to you, Jill, regardless of the loss, the difference in the loss, they come in there anyway. It's the same thing. She can win 50% more than he got. It's still going to be a fight because it's just like the thing in Russia. They saying that, well, Putin fixed the thing because he got 74% of the vote or 94% of the vote. He could be that much. She can get 94% of the vote. Okay, it's still going to be a fight. 50% of the vote, you're going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. You're not going to satisfy Trump. No way possible. Need to lock his ass up, lock him up, and just get on with this country.
I agree. I know there's definitely going to be a fight, but I don't want it to be like the Okaloosa count that we just had, and it was 13 votes and the lady lost. I don't want it to be that. That's what I'm saying. I don't want it to be even a question. He's going to do what he does, and his people are going to do what he does, and they'll be counting for forever. But come January, we're going to be putting her in office while they're still, in court doing whatever.
A lot of us are leaving little Post-it notes on the walls in the restroom saying nobody has to know you voted for Kamala. Vote for women's rights, vote for your family. Just little notes like that. Just putting it out there that they don't have to share it and to vote for Kamala Harris.
Where are they doing that at? You said a lot. That's the first time. You saying that was the first time I ever heard of that. Where is that happening?
Everywhere. So I saw it online, and then we just started doing that when we go to the restroom, especially in rural areas. We'll leave little notes on the back of the women's door.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to see what the results gonna be. I'll leave
You gonna leave them in the men's restroom and see what people do.
I got to do that one. I'll put some notes in there. Yeah, you can vote for Harris. Nobody gonna know. And don't tell your folks you did it. And then you take the note and leave it somewhere else. I mean, that's a good idea though. I like it.
If I'm in the bathroom, Jerry, I'm not taking a note.
Something about reading notes in the bathroom wall. Don't sound right.
I am not touching
that.
So we leave it there, and then when you go to another restroom, you have your own pad, your own paper, and you're just putting that on the door. I don't take it to go. Yeah. So
well, I mean, just still like the whole reading. I guess I don't know. Men restrooms are very, very different. Like
they are. So
reading stuff on the wall is not on my thing to do. It's still.
So what
I kind of
in the military, we used to always put the information in the military in the women's room. We would always put the information for women's shelter. For example, if you're being hurt, this is the number to call. So this is kind of the same idea, but a reminder to vote, and you don't have to tell anybody who you voted for.
So it just stays on the bathroom door, the stall door. It just boom. Like, so when you close it, that's what you're looking at. It's a note.
Right.
So many things are going through my head right now. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea, but I would say that those people that are cleaning the stalls are moving those notes. So the note is only good enough for the time that it's there. But I also would 100%. Say, hold just like, where are you putting it? Where so that I can see it? You know what I mean? But because your level's not my level necessarily, I'm not looking for notes in the bathroom. I'm just saying, I'm trying to go to the bathroom and get out of there if I'm in public bathroom in the first place. But the other idea is you could leave it with your waitress. You can leave it on the table in a restaurant. There's so many things that you can do. And we really do have to be creative because our responsibility is to reach as many people as possible. And so if it's in the bathroom, if it's at the restaurant, if it's through your church, if it's walking down your street, if it's at the dog park, I don't really care. Just go vote.
Christina, I agree with you. I think it's a novel idea. Continue to leave them on the back stall. Derek, I know many times you done went to the men's bathroom, standing at the urinal, seeing all of these paid messages on there. Got them on there. If it ain't about condoms, it's about something else, cigarettes and all that kind of stuff. So no, I think it's a novel idea. Continue to do that. I think that if everybody did that, even if you just get to one person, your job is done. Okay, and it's free advertising. I think it's a good idea. Keep your post-it note as you go in the bathroom. Slap it on there. It might not stay on there long, but it might stay on there long enough for somebody to see it, and it might stay on there long enough to make an impact. So Christina, continue to do it. Jill, get on board.
Okay, so Vernon, I'm sorry. There's a lot of things I'm going to do. Christina's going to do it her way. Jill's going to do it her way. I have enough issues trying to go to the bathroom in public that I am not trying to figure out how to slap a note on the door. I'm sorry.
Boom.
What are you
No.
gonna when you're sitting in the bathroom? You're sitting
I'm
on the
not saying
stall.
that.
You got
Let's talk
enough
about
time to do what to read that stuff. So I think it's a great idea myself.
No, nobody. Women don't go to the bathroom to sit and enjoy themselves and read. We go to the bathroom and try to hurry up and get out of it and wish we could have waited till we got home. No, it's different for us. No.
It is. So Jill's 100%, and I'm not touching the door. So like if I have my glass here, so here's the door, I'm touching the Post-it note. I'm not touching the door. So
But you know, when we were going to school, that was stuff written all on the walls of bathrooms.
That people actually read. You're right.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't read stuff in the bathroom like new, and new. Never.
We'll continue to be creative, whatever it takes.
Yes.
You choose the things that work for you, and just make sure you're doing something.
And
If I see somebody in Pensacola with a Post-it note in the restaurant, I'm gonna know they're taking it to the bathroom because they saw Christina's idea to write a note on the bathroom door. And be like, I see. Thank you for viewing the show. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for watching our show.
I'm definitely gonna leave one there.
And Jerry, you need to leave it at one where Derek goes all the time and say something. Like, Jerry, I saw your note on the wall.
Here's the note on
Bernie,
the
you're
bathroom.
right. I'm gonna start
Go
reading
on.
it. Oh goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Go
good
on the
idea.
back of the bathroom door or right above the toilet paper.
But you know, but that's still enough idea. You know, when I guess during World War II, there was a guy that used to write his name. He had to go to these different countries. He always says, I forgot what his name was. So and so was here, and that got caught on across around the world.
Sure did.
Yeah. So it's effective. Jim, my hat's off to you, baby. My head's off to you. No, my headphones off to you. Keep on doing it. I'm gonna have to take me some post-it.
So let's
I'm gonna have to take me some post-it
You
notes
mean
and stick them in front of the urinals.
Christina Forrest does that. Jill is not
Okay,
putting. If I'm
Christina.
putting a sticky in the bathroom, it's to save somebody's life. Like, this is the hotline in case you're being abused. This is the hotline if somebody stole you. That's where my heart and passion is for the bathroom, because that's what needs to happen in there. You need to save lives. But voting is gonna save their lives.
We need to save
So,
our freedom.
I'm
That just
good
as
at
important as
learning.
freedom.
We are going to agree to disagree that Christina and her crew can put their stickers up. Jerry is on board now. You can be on board. I'm not going to put stickies there,
I'm
but I will
coming
do
to
everything
I'm
possible
coming to
to
Okaloosa
make
County and
sure.
sneak in every women's bathroom there is
Well,
and
if you
stick them
go in a
up there.
women's bathroom, you might get arrested in Okaloosa County. We're just telling you, they sometimes shoot first. So I'm just saying, I'm just being real. Be careful.
Y'all are funny. All right, now that we know, put some notes in the bathroom. All right, let's go.
And I tell you what,
Do you have
Christina,
different
take it
colors,
one step
Christina?
further,
Do you like to do the
Christina.
orange and the green and the red? Do you do different colors so it's pretty? Of course you do. That's so cute. That's cute.
Are they pre-written or and
It
so?
better be. She better not be sitting on the toilet right. No, let her. I'm just-
Okay. All right.
You know, when you go to the bathroom, you see some of them Christian notes in there. You know, they
Absolutely.
have the literature in there, Christian literature.
I don't know what bathrooms you all are going to. Where you? I have
Public
in
literally,
the church bathroom, like
like
where are
I've
you going
never
to
read
see-
a note in the bathroom or something on the stall walls. Like maybe I'm just going to different bathrooms. I don't.
Yeah, you
I've
got
never
to.
seen.
This or not, but they
Like at a
have.
truck stop, or you're talking about like a rest area, because like at Olive, we'll use Olive Garden. They don't have stuff written on their stalls. They just don't.
No, they don't have it written. They just have a note in there. They put a note over there that says, you know, if you want to know God and all that. You haven't seen those in the bathroom?
No.
The only thing I've ever seen in a public bathroom is the sign "Employees must wash hands before leaving the bathroom." Like literally, that's the only thing I've ever seen
You don't see,
in the bathroom.
Derek,
I've
you
never
don't see
seen
this commercial
anything.
advertising in the bathroom. Come on now.
No.
Oh man,
What do you mean
they-
commercials?
they
Like a
got
television
no,
with a commercial? No.
they got actual boards that they sell advertising to that goes into the bathroom, and it's effective. You standing there. Next time, you probably not paying attention. Next time you go into some public restroom, okay, when you standing in front of that urinal, you look and start reading what's in front of you. These are commercial advertising that people pay to put their ads there, and it's common knowledge. You must don't go in the bathroom. So I don't know where you been, but it's common. I'm telling you. Wow. I wish I had you. So you get to be an old man like me. You have to stop at every bathroom every 5 minutes.
I will tell you before Jill even gets it out, she will tell you that I stop at restrooms frequently. Like when we're traveling, like but I run in and run out. I guess I'm not perusing the environment or
well, from now on, then you take you some post-it note with you.
Looked.
From now on, you take some post-it note with you and stick them up there before you leave, okay?
All right. I hear you. I'm looking. The next time I go to the restroom, that's not at like like what kind of restrooms are you going to? I guess that's why I'm still stuck. Like restrooms like on the interstate or like because like to Jill's point.
An audience, is our Facebook not going crazy right now? They should be like, why are y'all talking about bathrooms? But go ahead.
I'm just curious, like, 'cause I don't know that I've ever seen this.
You haven't paid any attention, Derek.
You're right. You haven't
paid any attention.
Next time you go to the bathroom, you start looking from now on, okay? You see what we're talking
like in
about.
the gas station, if you go to
gas
like the
stations, public bathroom, even sometime at restaurants. Restaurants try to be a little more sophisticated with their restroom, but you don't talk about just public restroom that you go to the stores, you know, the gas stations, and go to the even like I say even at the rest stops and in different places. It's just common. But
all right.
So I have a question, Christina. I know you said you watched it online, so it's Christina came up with this idea. So we don't want to blame this on Christina. This is across the United States, just different ideas people are having. But I would think, you know, like when you go into a grocery store and all of that, the postings that they do that have the missing kids and all of that. And if you want a job, to me, that would be where people actually go and look for things. Whereas when you're in the bathroom,
John Beasley said, beware of your surroundings. Restrooms and some restaurants have ads on the wall and at the urinal.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Beasley. I'm with you. I guess I'm gonna have to next time I go to the restroom at Olive Garden. People are gonna look at me like, why are you looking all around? Like I'm absolutely gonna look for these things in the bathroom.
Have you ever noticed like graffiti though? Like when you've gone into the restroom, have you ever noticed graffiti on the wall?
Yes, but that's the thing. I don't read it. Like I see it because it's like in black ink all on the thing, but I don't read like or good time or whatever.
Yes,
yeah, like that's what I
How
think
do you know
of.
it says that?
So I don't read this stuff. Like I don't.
It's in the movies. That's what they say. For a good time, dude.
For a good time.
All
such. I don't look at it. I don't read it.
He probably got that number remembered in his head. See.
Call this number, like.
And maybe, hey, Derek. Maybe that's the beauty of it. Just like you just remember to have a good time in that number. It's subliminal. So leave it there. So leave it it's subliminal so you can remember it.
I don't know the number. I'm just saying.
You know, think of the irony of it. You know, you walk into a tight little bathroom and you see the note, vote for Kamala, and then when you walk in that voting booth, you're gonna come back to you. Oh, I put a vote for Kamala. Because I'm just joking, but you know what I mean.
Because the bathroom note told me so. All right.
So again, we when I was in the military, and we should have done it in all restrooms, but in all of the women restrooms, in any of the buildings that I worked at, we had the local numbers for on the back of the stalls. When you close the door, you saw the local numbers for the women's shelter. You saw who to contact on base if there was ever an assault or you just wanted to talk to somebody. This is just along the same lines. Just saying no one has to know who you voted for. Vote for women's rights.
So what does the note say? Since you keep holding it up,
No one has to know you voted for Kamala. Vote for women's rights. And there's
Hold
different,
it
I
up
have
there
different
again. Hey,
messages.
hey,
Vote,
hey, put it
vote
back
for
up
your
there.
family.
Put it back up there for
I-
the viewer can see it there. Okay. All right. Stand back.
I have different messages. Vote for your future, vote for your family, vote so that your daughter has reproductive rights.
What
There's
if they
lots of
don't,
different little
what if they're not
messages.
registered to vote? It seems to me we would be saying register to vote and then that, because if you're not registered, no one's gonna know because I'm not registered.
That's very true. And there's not
So
a
I'm just
QR
helping
code.
her note, Vernon. I'm making the note better for the bathroom. Register to vote. No one
So
has
we
to
could
know
put,
that you're voting
that's
for Kamala,
brilliant. That's
women's
not,
rights matter.
I could put where to register to vote. I could actually print something up but my goal is not to, it's just a Post-it note. My goal is not to touch the bathroom wall. But I could attach something to it with a QR code on how to vote. There's lots of probably better ways I could do, but it's just a very small, simple thing I can do. And it is going to be thrown away whenever they come in and clean. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying somebody might see it. And if you're doing this across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm making light of it, but like I think for me, and I'm just being just who I am. If I closed the stall door and I looked and I saw a Post-it note, I would immediately leave the restroom. So I would think someone is targeting me or like, why are you leaving Post-it notes for me? I feel like it was addressed to me. Like, how did you know I was coming in here that you left a Post-it note? It just seems
Come on,
eerie or
Derek.
somebody's
Come on,
watching. I
Derek.
don't know. It's eerie to me. I don't
Come
know.
on,
I don't know.
Derek.
Let's
You're
just
trying to make it
say
personal.
this.
It's not personal. It's
Well,
just for
let's just
anybody can
say-
see it.
Yes, let's just say that Christina found a creative way online that she is
Yes.
now implementing. As
Okay.
all of us are very creative individuals, find the way that you have to help reach people that you normally wouldn't reach, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Go to any lengths, as we are seeing, any lengths, do whatever it takes.
I'm with that. I will
I
be
like it a lot. Mhm. That's funny. All right. So moving from the bathroom notes, we didn't do our host roundtable. So is there anything, Mr. McIntosh, that you have that everybody needs to know? That's not a bathroom.
No, I don't have anything today that everybody need to know. That's well, I say my family is here with me today, so that might
All
be.
right.
Yeah, they're here.
Who's there with you?
Yeah, my sister and my niece and nephew, they're here.
Okay. Hey,
Or
sisters
you
and
could have
nieces.
warned us. Maybe we wouldn't have went to the bathroom today or so. I'm gonna say, and they're gonna be
I
like,
know
"Oh,
they'll be
that's what
like,
you talk about on your
I'll
show."
literally talk about bathroom stuff for your show. Is that your
Hey,
talk show?
Jerry, you make sure you put that note in the bathroom so they can see it. So
Yeah, I will.
All right. Christina, in addition to your notes, what else do you have for us that we need to know?
I so appreciate you. No, I love that Our Voices family. I want to thank everybody who came out to the NAACP event last night in Milton. Chevron Jones gave an incredible word, and it was really, really wonderful. On September the 7th, Elizabeth Huey is doing a volunteer fundraiser. It's a fish fry. She is in a runoff for school board election. So if you want to come and help support Elizabeth Huey and get some fish, you definitely can. It's going to be September 7th at the CMF Center. On the 14th in Santa Rosa County, again at the CMF Center, from 11 to 1:30. The DWC is going to be, the Democratic Women's Club is going to be having a Chucks and Pearls brunch. The cost is $40. It will be in Milton. Everybody is welcome. And you can buy your tickets on Eventbrite. On the 21st of September, again at the CMF Center, we're going to have another fish fry. That one is for the Democratic Black Caucus, and that helps us that helps us advertise in our communities about the importance of voting. It helps us go out and throw different block parties, and it helps us fund the Blue Jazz Brunch. And that will be on the 21st of September from noon till about 3. If you're in Santa Rosa County, we will deliver a meal for you. If you need that, just reach out to me. Those tickets are available on Eventbrite. And that's all I have. Absolutely. And thank you so much for that. And I apologize for that oversight. That's completely my fault. And I appreciate that.
All right, Mr. Vernon, what do you have for us? All right, Jill, what do you have?
Oh, Vernon, and I just love you. You're so fabulous. I just have a suggestion. Maybe you could send her a text message because they love text messages and they will read it, and do that and schedule it on your phone so that it just keeps sending to her. And eventually she's either going to cut you off, or she'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go do it. I'm voting right now. Here's my picture. Not and set yourself a reminder, however you want to do it. But and that's really what we need to do for everybody. We need to start being creative. So, as much as the whole bathroom thing was a whole different thing, it's still being creative. It's just being creative. And we've got to be creative if we want to win. For Okaloosa County, we have on September 9th, we have our Democratic Black Caucus Okaloosa meeting, and I can't even tell you how long. We're inviting everyone to come. We have a new president, Mr. John Armour, and we want to welcome him. So we have invited Escambia, Santa Rosa. You guys are more than welcome to come. We do have all 3 candidates coming, so for our area. So Gay Valamont, Lisa Newell, and Keith Gillum will be there in person. We do have the president of the DBC and the first vice president, Christina, will be there via Zoom. And it's just, we also have signs for the Harris Walls team. So we are the only place in Okaloosa right now that has signs. And we are just thankful that we have this opportunity. We are asking for a $10 donation, but that's buying more signs. But more importantly, what it's doing is we're going to make sure that we have palm cards and door knockers to go out with all of the volunteers throughout Okaloosa County. So it doesn't matter if you're with the Democratic Party, with the DEC, or if you're with the NAACP, or if you're with the Divine Nine or the churches, we're going to try to provide for them something to hand out. We're also going to focus on churches and how we can get them the information that they need, even if they're just leaving it in the vestibule. We don't care where they put it. We just want to try to reach as many people as possible. So we ask and invite you to join us. We will have light snacks and drinks, and it's at 6:30 at 208 North Parton Drive. That is where we have most of our meetings right now. It is at the Niceville City Council chambers. And then on the 18th, we have the DEC meeting. And we invite you to the same location, same time. And then I want to just, since Vernon, you brought that up, the Okaloosa NAACP has their Freedom Fund banquet October 11th. So I'll get you that information and share it with you. So possibly you can come on over, and I invite you. We usually do a good job of attending each other's events. We would love to see all of you in Okaloosa County at the NAACP event and any of the events that we have. I think the more people see our faces everywhere, they'll see that we really are united in working together, that we have a connection in Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa County that says we're not going to leave anybody behind. We're going to work together, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that if there's information in Escambia, that it gets to Santa Rosa and Okaloosa. If there's information in Santa Rosa, it gets to Okaloosa and Escambia. And if there's information in Okaloosa, we get it to Santa Rosa and Escambia, because each one of our viewing audience is just that important. It is critical that we share even the ideas that we have. You can take that just like Vernon did and twist it into something that works for you and works for your people and your family. And then I would say just a plea from me that we need to step outside of our comfort zone, not with stickers, but I'm saying, let me finish. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I'd say thank you again, just like Christina said. And what I was saying with I want people to get uncomfortable. I think Christina, your idea is a great idea. I think that's a comfortable idea. When I say uncomfortable, we're going to have to reach out to Republicans. We're going to have to reach out to MPAs. We're going to have to go to our neighbors who might not be as friendly, but might have a like-minded issue or believe in women's reproductive rights or believe in recreational marijuana or any of the other 6 amendments, whatever it takes. I just think that now is the time for us to say, hey, you know what? We've got 65 days left. Those 65 days, do everything that you can so that you can, at least each of us can say, we put everything on the line. That when the win happens, it's because we put everything on the line. Thank you.
Hey, Derek.
Yes, sir.
Derek,
Yes, sir.
we need to do a show based on what's on the ballot, okay? So remind me, we can get together, because a lot of folks don't know who and who's and what's on the ballot. So we know what to vote for. And we need to do it probably as soon as we can, so we have time to just play it throughout the time that get people registered to vote and ready to vote.
Okay. All right, we'll do that. Thank you, Jill.
Can I just
sorry.
when we do that, let's make sure that we have all of the entities correct. Meaning, let's make sure the Florida Democratic Party gives us their decision. We look at the League of Women Voters, we look at the NAACP, so that we're given the right information. That's all I'm saying. We don't want to tell them to say no because we feel no, or say yes if there's other people that are saying something different. But we do want to give them the education on what it is. I just want to make sure that they don't come back and say, well, y'all said this and then they said this, which will happen. Everybody won't. I mean, I think on 3 and 4, that's not the question, but on the other ones, there are some varying
points of view.
You know, like when some of the times, like when I go into the polls, and then when you vote for judges and stuff like that, sometimes I don't know who to vote for. Sometimes because of the little unknown, the lesser known folks we don't know about, and you don't know sometimes. Sometimes you vote for the wrong person.
Yeah.
Especially on the judges. We definitely need information on it, and we never get enough information. And then, it's supposed to be nonpartisan and all of that, but they are partisan, and they are eking out justice from the the judges' seat. They are partisan as they come, and we know it, but you don't know what they're, how they stand on different issues unless you got good lawyers that will tell you, hey, these people, and they most of the time don't, they're not is involved that they should be, especially in the community, uh, so that people will know what kind of judges to vote for. You know, so that's a problem too, as far as judges is concerned, and the lesser known people that you're voting for on the ballot. So I hope that we have some lawyers in the Democrat Party who can explain to some of us what judges we need to vote for and not vote for. We had that in the past with some lawyers, but they are no longer involved, or I guess, are engaged in community affairs as far as politics is concerned. So that has become a problem to find out who you need to vote for as judges and all of that. And that's something that we had an issue with for years.
Well, as far as Escambia County, I have a few things that I want to share. So I'm going to go and tell you in order. So with the first thing is we are still looking for volunteers because we have a litany of things to do. So if you are interested in phone banking, if you can canvas, lend your efforts at any point in time, please reach out and give us a call at 850-407-7997, or if you can canvas, do the same. Or you can email us at escambiadems@outlook.com. For if you're wondering what we're calling for, we're calling because we have a lot of people in Escambia County that were moved from the active voter list to the inactive voter list. And we want to make sure those people get their voter registration status corrected before the general election. So if you have time, please be sure to lend some efforts. If you can't volunteer in that way, or you can't volunteer in canvassing, please make sure you spend some time. You can make calls from the privacy of your own home. You don't have to come to an office. Whatever you feel comfortable with is the time. Now is the time to get engaged. We have in Escambia County officially ordered our slate cards for this election cycle. So we've ordered a total of 30,000 that will be going out to our folks here in Escambia County. That doesn't cover not even half of our registered Democrats, let alone a quarter of our residents, but it's a starting point, right? So we're getting those out. We should have those by the end of next week. The digital version is already available, and we'll be placing that on our website here within this next week. So please look out for that. For those who are interested in also finding out additional ways to get involved here in Escambia County, there is a civic engagement group that meets every other Monday. Our next meeting is Monday, September the 9th at the St. John's Lodge, which is located on 2560 North Davis Highway. We meet every other Monday at 6:30. We should be meeting this Monday, but as tomorrow is a holiday, we'll be meeting the following Monday. But this is a way to get involved and engage in the community and know what's going on. What are you saying, June?
I said you'll be in Okaloosa County, but your team will be there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. So we'll be doing that. Lastly, I'm going to share this for Haley Morissette, who is running, as you all know, for State House District 2, is having a Zoom call to action here this Wednesday on the 4th from 5 p.m. Central Time to 7 p.m. If you are interested and can attend, again, this is something that you can do from the privacy of your own home. Please go to runlikehail.com, sign up, and you will get the Zoom link. That's runlikehail.com. This is, as we know, this is a all hands on deck election cycle. So please do your part to get engaged and involved, and let's turn out the vote. I'm happy to announce that the Escambia County will have a Harris office, and they are going to be releasing that information soon. So if you're interested, you want more additional ways to know, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will give you the details that you will need for that.
Derek, have you talked to Walter Gully? And
Regarding what?
he want to work with he talked to me about working with us and making sure that we get people to the polls and all that. He's with the Masons, and
Mhm.
so if you get a chance, you can call him and see, so they because they want to work with us on the Democrat Party with getting people to the polls and information and all that.
Okay, will do. Yeah, I haven't spoken with him regarding that, but I'll make sure that I reach out. That's a great thing. We are, yeah, I meant to mention we are, oh, that's what I also wanted to share with you. For people who are interested, the Escambia County, Escambia County is in need of both poll workers and poll watchers. If you are interested in either, please make sure you reach out. You can reach out to myself. I can direct you to our supervisor of elections. If you want to be a poll worker, reach out to the supervisor of elections office. Their telephone number is 850-595-3900, and they can get you set up and get you all the information on how to become a poll worker. Those positions are paid, but in addition to poll workers, we also need poll watchers, because we know we all anticipate shenanigans in this election cycle. So it is great that we have representation. If you are interested and can volunteer to be a poll watcher, please reach out to me. You can, again, give us a call at 850-407-7997 or email us at escambiadems, that's ESCAMBIADEMS @outlook.com, and we will get you set up in the right fashion.
Song. I'm a poll watcher. I'm a poll watcher. I'll be watching you.
Yep. I don't know that song. I'm gonna go with like, if you say it's a song, I trust you. I never heard that in my life.
You
but
must be, boy, I tell you what, you still wet behind the ears then, huh?
It says I'm a poll watcher. It literally says I'm a poll watcher.
No, actually, it's I'm a girl watcher. You know her.
I thought you said a poll watcher. I'm like, I've never
Come
heard
on
that
now,
song.
use your imagination, man.
Changed the words, but I have never heard it either. But that's
You never heard I'm a girl watcher?
Like,
Okay, we just gotta change the lyrics to I'm a poll watcher.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that one. Yeah. Oh, and I I forgot. Sorry. Like Jill said, and I guess I'll share. I think Santa Rosa has yard signs available, or will have yard signs available. What, Christina?
Yes, so Sandy Smith has yard signs available. They are $10 a sign, and it's the same signs you just saw. Yes. So we do have those. You can reach out to myself. I can get you in touch with Sandy, or if you're on the south side near Navarre or Gulf Breeze, BJ has those as well. So again, $10 for the sign, and that helps cover information that goes out to voters, because we raise all the money for that.
Yep.
And so, and
And
thank you to Derek and Jill for helping with that as well. So without them, we wouldn't have had this.
Yep. I will also
actually say, can I just throw this in there? Thank you to Steve Norton, because actually none of us would have any signs if it was not.
Yeah, big up to Steve. Yeah.
Steve is the one who shared his contact. He took himself out of it so that we could have affordable signs. So to our super volunteer in Okaloosa County, Steve, we love you, and we truly say thank you, because you have now impacted 3 whole counties.
3 whole counties, yeah. Yep, thank you. Big up to Steve. And like Santa Rosa and Okaloosa, well, unlike Santa Rosa and Okaloosa, Escambia County does not have signs, right? We have placed an order. We are now we will be receiving an order of signs by the end of the week. This is our fourth round of 100, so we're up almost. We'll have gone through 400 signs. And for those of you all who are wondering, we are, as like Jill and Christina have mentioned, our signs do offset. We do have to offset the cost of production, so we're asking for a nominal donation of $10. You can do that by card or cash or check. You can come to our office. I won't give you the number again, but I will. It's 850-407-7997. Please feel free to reach out. And by Friday, we will have more in stock. And for those of you all who are watching who have asked, we have not yet ordered shirts. We will be getting shirts sometime soon, but we're trying to offset because the demand for signs has been so great. We can't keep them in stock. I will tell you, once we get them, if you want one, come and get it immediately. We can't hold signs for you. We call and we put people on a list, and people have asked, okay, we'll call them on Monday. They'll come and get them on Tuesday, and the sign's already gone. They go just that fast within a 6-hour window. So please get your sign whenever you can.
Jerry, back to you.
You came off of mute just to say that.
Yeah, no, I was already off mute, but I'm just saying we spent so much time on signs and stickers in the bathroom that I don't want our viewing audience to be like, okay. Not Christina, your thing was great, but we took it to a whole nother level with our deep discussion on it.
Yeah. Just want to say North Carolina, there's a governor race there, and it looked like the Democrat is going to pull that way out because we got I don't know what this guy is that's running against the Republican, the black Republican out there. It's something with this guy. He he said that, we need to kill some people. That was one of his statements, that, some people need to die. And then he said, somebody had to say it. I'm like, really, dude? And he's like down 35. The Democrat is up 48-35, according to the poll now. But this guy I don't know if y'all been following him, but he's been saying some of the most craziest things. And he trying to out Trump, or I don't know, but you talking about a lunatic? That dude is one of them. I mean, he have said some awful things about women, about Kamala Harris, and when you really hear what if you get a chance, go to YouTube and listen to some of the stuff he's saying. And I'm glad that he's losing like he is, because he's been turned. His Republicans turned off by him. He's that dumb, and I don't even know how they. Because I don't even know how they nominated him as the person to be governor, to run for governor in the Republican Party. I guess the same way they nominated Trump, though.
And Herschel.
Yeah, Herschel Walker and all that crew. Yeah, but this guy is, he's, if you get a chance, listen to him on YouTube, some of the stuff he's saying. He's just out there.
His name is Mark Robinson.
Yeah, Mark Robinson, right.
Why would anybody want to waste the time listening to that vitriol and all that crap? I wouldn't. I would just let him talk. I wouldn't take any time looking at him, listening at him. Nothing you can say makes sense anyway.
Yeah, but there's people out there actually going to vote for this guy. Yeah. They actually going to vote for him.
But Jerry, there's people out there that are going to vote for Trump. So what's the only difference is that he happens to be black? So it's even worse for us, because then they're going to point to him and be like, "See, he believes it too." Yeah, I'm kind of with Vernon. I think that we need to make people aware. So I think it's good that they know that that's out there, and it goes on both sides. And that's why the fight is so critical. But I don't want to, if I have time and I have to listen to political something, I don't want to listen to anything that's like 45. Yeah. Black, white, purple, pink. I don't want to listen to it.
But if you live in that state, And there are a lot of black people in North Carolina, and they might be, well, I guess they know I guess they should know what's happening out there with him because of all the crazy things he have said. So yeah, you're right. Probably don't need to even talk about him anymore, ever.
Yeah. Jerry, you
Just
probably
like,
got a good point, for the folks in North Carolina, because some folk will vote for him just because he's black, if they have not listened to him. But we got enough issues in Florida to deal with as well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't spend any time on his craziness. I sure wouldn't. Trump is enough. I don't even spend time on Trump. You know what I don't even do? Maybe I should, but all these crazy fools that support him, like Byron Donaldson and all those folks, all those black folks, those triggers. I don't. Whenever they come on CNN or MSNBC, I don't even deal with Fox at all. But whenever they come on any of those platforms, I turn away from it because I don't want to get nothing they got to say. Nothing.
but even at that point, they still got influence.
I know.
People, because Byron Donaldson, he thinks he's a totally intellect. He used everything he got to try to influence the black community, and he have influenced some people. Because I've seen him at some of his little rallies that he had. There wasn't a whole lot of people there, but I've seen him at some of those, and people, black folk going along with him, cheering him on, And I'm like, really? This dude is crazier than Trump.
Yeah.
But but there's people out there supporting. It's just like people support Trump because they think that he gave them a $1,200 check.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. But go ahead.
So that's the dangers of what we have when we vote for people just when black folks vote just because they're black. You run into those things. I know for me, like I was one of those people who couldn't understand, like, I had to do my own research, like when they kept talking about Roy Cooper was one of the Democratic choices for Vice President Harris in his in the VP selection process. I was lost. So I'm like, I thought the governor of North Carolina was Republican because I knew Mark Robinson was crazy Republican. But for those who don't live in Florida, there are states that vote for their governor and their lieutenant governor separately. So they have Roy Cooper, who is at the top of the state as a Democrat, and Mark Robinson, who people voted for. I don't know because he's black, but they voted to put him second in command. I think Maryland is the other state that does that. They vote for their governor and their lieutenant governor separately. If you ask me right now, and I'm saying to admit, if you ask me right now who the lieutenant governor of the state of Florida is, I have absolutely no idea. I couldn't tell you. Christina, I know Christina knows. She's about to tell us. Were you about to say something?
Her name escapes me. She's a female. She's Latina, and I can pull her name up in just a minute.
Oh yeah, I wasn't interested in knowing. I was just saying, one of those things like, hey, but just for folks who get confused as to why he is so stark different from the governor of North Carolina, it's because they vote for them separately. But I guess, Mr. McIntosh, you hit on a point, and let me publicly apologize to Catrice Johnson. I was supposed to talk to you all to make sure that we had her on as a guest to get a different opposing part, and I forgot to do my part. So I apologize, Catrice. We can get you on next week. We will make sure that we do so. But in that, I wanted to talk about, did everybody see the comments that Donald Trump made it about Byron Donalds? Did you all see that?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he made this public thing and everybody's going crazy. So it makes it like, again, I would say Black Republicans have been fighting for their lives here in these world, because every time they have a stronghold, they have a point, their leader and Donald Trump comes down and says something that makes them look crazy. So Donald Trump was at a rally and he was talking about Byron Donalds, and he said, that one there, he's one of the good ones. He's a smart one. You know, they have some good ones and some that are just not so smart, but he's one of those smart ones. It was very, like, it put me, well, not, well, that's a wrong analogy. Well, I'm going to use the analogy, but I was never there. So you'll get what I mean in the sense. It's very reminiscent of when we were, before enslavement ended, white people would buy Black folks on the auction block, and they would say, oh, he looks good, he looks smart, he looks strong, like I want him. It was very much like slave block mentality or auction block mentality. And here they are, like, yep, I'm one of the smart ones. I was smart, I was kind, I was important, right? So it's like, at what point I guess my question, do Black Republicans for Trump realize y'all aren't included in this grand plan? You know,
They don't realize, and they're not going to realize. If you are a Black Republican, or if you are Black and voting for Trump, you're not going to realize. You will realize when you see the fallout, when he loses, and you see what the astronomical, and say, should he win? I guess for me, I think we should bring up some things, but we're not changing their minds, and we don't have time. With 65 days, we don't have time to get in their minds and try to figure out at what point. I don't care what point, unless they're gonna go in the ballot box and vote for Kamala. I don't care what your point is or when it is. That's me personally. I think there's so many people out there that we really could reach, that we really could share a story with and an understanding that might actually go, you know what, I can vote for her because of that, or I can vote for that because of that. That's what we need to focus on, and not, I mean, Derek, you'll beat yourself in the head every day, all day long, till far after the election, to try to understand why Black Republicans think that any part of that is the Black jobs. That's what they're going to get. They're going to get the Black jobs he was talking about. They're going to go from being wherever they are to out in the street doing work on wherever the immigrants are. So we're going to be on the roofs, putting on new roofs. We're going to be out doing construction. They're going to have a brand new Black job while they with their Black Republicans. That's what they're going to have. Maybe they're securing, that's what I almost said earlier. Maybe they're securing the fact that they want one of those Black jobs, and they at least get a job. I don't know.
It's a book by Clay King on Sirius Radio called Address. I got to get that book. It's talking about Black Republicans from Lincoln to Trump, and how, they are nothing like the older Republicans that came along before, that had, that did not bow down to the Republican Party. They were Republicans, but they knew Brooks, who was was he from Maryland, Vernon Brooks, that the senator. He was a Republican, and then you had one from Chicago who was a congressman. But they were people who were making laws that benefited Black people as well as other people. But you don't have that anymore. I mean, these people done went they done went so far off the rail that they don't even think they Black anymore. And Byron Donaldson's wife is like Clarence Thomas' wife. She's a staunch conservative who is out there pushing the right-wing agenda against the he's the very person she's pushing the agenda against. And he married to her, like Clarence Thomas. He turned so white that inside that he can't see he's black anymore, and his wife is pushing an agenda that would put him away as well. You know, like when they did when the Indians, I said Native American who turned on Geronimo, they threw them in jail too.
Yeah.
They didn't, you know, they threw them in jail when they turned on Geronimo and got him caught. But they said, you know, you got him caught. What you do to me? They threw him in prison too. They died in prison with him. So same thing, you know, with Byron Donaldson and Clarence Thomas and all that other group that's along, that right wing group that's along with Peters, all of those guys, they are just absolutely out there and have no shame whatsoever. But all the wives are right wing, so-called conservative. They so far right, conservatives don't even come into the lexicon anymore as far as they are concerned.
And that other horse-faced guy, what's his name up in the
Tim
senator from
Scott.
South? Tim Scott. Well, you knew who I was talking about, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew exactly who you're talking about.
He reminds me of Mr. Ed, the black Mr. Ed.
Yeah, that mutilation.
No, because Mr. Ed has big teeth. He just has big gums. He has big gums and little teeth. So it's one of those. That's what. But I knew who you were talking about. Yes. What was I going to say? And Byron Scott, like Byron, excuse me, not Byron Scott, Byron Donalds. He, you know, it's funny because they talk about him like you're mentioning his wife. You know, that's his second wife. He used to be married to a black woman, and I guess his shape shifting started with her because she talked about how when she met him, he pretended to be from Jamaica and they spoke with like a Jamaican accent for 6 months until he finally admitted that he was from Brooklyn in New York in order to date her. And then after they got married, he left her for his current wife and converted to Republicans.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Mr. McIntosh, you wanted, oh, I guess we didn't have enough time. We don't, but, well, never mind.
Yeah. Just, I was looking at, we were looking at, I was looking at Kamala Harris.
Jerry, lean into your mic. We can't hardly hear you.
You can't hear me?
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
now
can.
we can.
Yeah, I was saying when I was looking at Kamala Harris polls today. They look good. I mean, they say in the margin of error, but they look good. Her polls look good, and she's leading in places like Nevada and other places that battleground states. She's leading Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and I believe she might have pulled ahead in Georgia now, or if I'm right, that she might be the pull ahead in Georgia. So if she wins Georgia and Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, it's over. Go ahead, Jill.
Where's
I
Bill?
sure do wish that Bill Snow was on here.
I was just thinking, where's
I
Bill?
am trying to understand why now that it's Kamala that we're going with polls, but before all of y'all, most of y'all, we're like, oh, polls don't tell the truth. They don't this, they don't that. Now,
Right.
she's over there clapping because it's Kamala, but when it was Trump, no, we don't listen to polls. I will just remind everybody that Hillary also had the polls. She had the polls until the night of when we all were just like, oops, she lost this and she lost this and she lost this. I'm not saying don't get excited. All I'm saying is let's take that excitement and let's make sure that it happens. Not worry about a poll, act like she's behind, vote like she's behind, get active like she's behind to make sure that those polls come true.
Yeah, and I always say, polls don't vote. Yeah, polls don't vote, people do, but it sounds good anyway. It sounds good saying that the polls are ahead of Trump. The prosecutor is the head of the criminal.
I agree. I just don't want anybody to stay home because they think that
right.
I want them to feel like it takes your vote because it takes your vote.
Right.
So I do want to say that like with Hillary, I don't think that the polls were necessarily wrong because Hillary did win the popular vote, but the popular vote wasn't enough. We needed more. And so, Jill, I thank you. You're absolutely right. The polls are not enough. It's exciting because it's great that we're not 15 behind, 20 behind in the polls because that does lead to excitement. But like everybody just said, polls don't vote. So, and our turnout here in Florida at the primary was miserable. So folks really, really, really do have to turn out. Please double check your voter registration. Please make sure you are still on the rolls. Please double check after you voted that your vote counted. It doesn't just stop when you go and mark your ballot. Double check everything.
Before we go, I got to mention this. In Sudan, there's a crisis there. There's a civil war. There's a crisis in Sudan that we need to pay attention to as well. There's rival factions that's fighting, and there's rampant violence. There's a humanitarian situation over there, a mass civilian casualty. The country is facing major outbreak of cholera, dengue fever, malaria, monkeypox, and it's all taking place there in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And it's something that we have to pay attention to as much as we pay attention to what's going on over in Palestine and other places. We need to make sure that we pay attention to that because it's devastating over there. People, I think about people that living in unsanitary conditions, have lack of running water. Women have no privacy. We think about that. It's awful. The children are dying in mounting numbers over there. So it's record-breaking heat. That's also they're out in the element day and night. So it's something that we need to think about, and we'll talk more about it on one of the shows because it's not just there; it's in other places as well that having these issues in Africa. And it's all because of, countries that are pushing these wars, but they are taking the resources while these wars are taking places over there in Africa and other places in that part of the world. Oh yeah, Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott had moved 1 million people from the road in Texas. 1 million already, and said it's not. He said it's not over with. But people that are citizens of this country are being removed from the road and don't even know, and they haven't sent anything to show that they have been removed from the road. So that's something that we need that we'll address on the next show as well. You don't mute, Vern.
Book recommendation?
Not, I don't have it with me today. I was intending to bring it out and back. You're on mute, Vern. You were saying something.
I was saying it's time for your books because you only got 2 minutes. We got less than 2 minutes.
I'm gonna do the books next week then.
Okay.
All right.
Well, if you don't have anything, I just want to remind everybody the deadline to register to vote is October the 7th. To request a vote by mail ballot is October the 21st. So please, if you have not yet registered to vote or signed up for vote by mail, please do so. There is still time. It's not too late. So please make sure that your voice is heard and your voice is counted and your vote is counted. If nothing else, if all hearts and minds are clear, we thank you for tuning in with us this evening. Again, thank you to Dondre for joining us. We will have more next week. We will see you then. Have a great Labor Day and a great week, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night.